everybody, long time no see. I hope the traffic isn't too noisy. I am back in the flesh wanting to show you how to make something that I recently learned how to make and have been enjoying a lot, which is coconut yogurt. It's extremely easy and simple, basically 2 ingredients, coconut and a probiotic and thyme. So hope you enjoy this very simple recipe. So first of all, you guys are gonna want young coconuts. You're not gonna want mature coconuts with the really thick meat, the kind you buy at the stores that are brown, they're already husked. You break them open, they have that really thick, fibrous, fatty meat. That's not what you want. That's not gonna make a good coconut yogurt. You could probably do it. That's all you got. You might wanna try it and it might be worth it, but really that stuff's gonna be really thick and grainy and fibrous, and it's not gonna make a yogurty consistency. So you want the young coconut meat, and depending on the coconut meat, it's going to take a differing amount of coconuts to fill up one blender for one batch of coconut meat. These coconuts are picked either very young or it's just a variety that has meat that's very thin. I think they're just picked very young because in Hawaii I could go get 3 coconuts, bust them open, they'd be a perfect thickness and pliability for making coconut yogurt. But here I probably need close to 10 coconuts to make the same batch. First step is to cut all of the coconuts, take out all the water. You're probably going to want to save some of the water because when you're blending the coconut meat, you're going to want to add some water usually to the right consistency of yogurt. That may not be true for all coconuts because some coconuts are very jelly-like, and if you just blend the jelly straight up, it might turn into a yogurty consistency without any water at all. But still, save some of the water. So first step, open some coconuts. You're gonna want a nice good knife to do this. Something like this is good. This is Brazilian like barbecue knife. Might want a machete, depends on the kind of coconuts you have. Use a butcher's knife if you're just using young Thai coconuts that you buy in the store. It's time to open the coconuts now. Let's do it. Alright, so now you want to scoop all the meat out of the coconuts. I like to use a really thin spoon. The person who's taught me how to do this was Michael Arnstein, and he uses the Vitamix spatula, and it just goes right behind the meat perfectly, and it's really fast, but I don't have one of those, so I like to use a really thin, large spoon. Just get behind the meat, put it in a container. Take a few minutes. It's worth it to get every last little piece. This is as much as we have here. It is a great amount to do one blender full. Gonna throw that in here in a second. First I gotta drink some of this or find another container for it. Now we're in the kitchen and we're gonna wanna add the meat into the Vitamix blender and start blending. If it is in the consistency that mine is at, if it's at a consistency that's much denser and harder, you're gonna wanna add some coconut water before you start blending. Alright, so I didn't have to add any coconut water. The coconut meat that I used was just so thin that just blending it straight up got pretty close to the perfect consistency. I still need to blend this a little bit. If you can see, there's still some little tiny chunks, and I want to get it absolutely creamy smooth. So I'm going to blend it a bunch more before adding the probiotic, but this is why you don't want to add coconut water if your meat is young, because if you add coconut water before, then it might be a very thin yogurt, which isn't a problem, it's just not the same normal yogurt consistency that you might like. Alright, so I blended it to the perfect consistency here. As you can see, there's no more of those chunks, there's just some bubbles, and it's super duper creamy. I wish maybe it was a little tiny bit thicker than this, but I think this is pretty good as it is. So now we're gonna add the probiotic. I brought this from the United States. I took it out of its packaging because if we went through customs, they might charge me for it because those things are pretty expensive and they charge about 40% customs here. So what this is a vegan probiotic probiotic. It is not lactobacillus. It has a bacillus hybrid sort of deal that is made to eat non-dairy products. Most probiotics have lactobacillus in them, and those are a milk-derived probiotic. They eat milk. If you want a truly vegan yogurt, you want to look for a truly vegan probiotic that says not only dairy-free, but says vegan on the label. Because some might say dairy-free, but the probiotic used is derived off of a milk product. Okay, so one batch this large, you're gonna wanna use one capsule. You could probably fill it up a little bit higher with one capsule. The probiotic you buy is gonna be in a capsule form. You wanna open the capsule, empty the capsule into the coconut, then blend it on low. I hear some probiotics can be harmed by being blended, so you wanna blend it as little as possible just to mix it up. And that should do it. And from there, get a Tupperware, preferably glass, put it in there, and you're gonna wanna make sure that it has a lid that you can put on so nothing will get in, but also it's probably good that the lid is not absolutely airtight because this will expand, get some pressure, and when you go to open it, it might explode a little bit. And also you're gonna wanna leave at least half an inch, even an inch, because it can expand, get a lot of bubbles in there, and push up on the lid, which is something you don't want. So after this stage, just put the lid on, maybe leave one side not absolutely airtight, but just enough so nothing's gonna get in. And then you leave it room temperature for about 20 hours. Depending on the strength of your probiotic, it could take a little bit less than that, but you probably do not wanna go over 24 hours. So check it maybe at 18 hours, and if it's nice and tangy, if you want it to be a little bit more tangy, you can leave it for a few more hours. So we're gonna leave this and check on it tomorrow. This stuff, this husk, is an excellent composting material. It's a great organic material. It turns into the perfect fluffy soil. You don't have to do anything. You can flip them and do all sorts of stuff and speed up the process, but if you have time and some space in your garden, I highly recommend composting this. Do not throw this stuff away. And the hard coconut stuff, as long as it's not a really hard, dense shell of mature coconut, it'll break up and turn into soil eventually as well. So compost. All right, guys, so it's the next day. It's about 20 hours later. Let's check it out. Check that out. It is expanded like 75%. It's super fluffy, lots of bubbles. It's perfect. Let's test it. It's good. Nice and tangy, just the way I like it. The best thing about this stuff is that you can make it into something sweet, you can make it into something savory, you can blend it in a smoothie and make like a kefir flavored drink. I don't know if you ever had those fruity yogurt drinks back in the day. I grew up drinking those and I like them a lot. Blend this with banana and papaya and you'll have the best meal you ever had in your life. It's awesome. Or you can turn it into tzatziki, you know, that yogurt Mediterranean sauce. Add some herbs, put it in a salad dressing as a base. You can do anything with this stuff. Anything you can do with yogurt, you can do with this. And in my opinion, it's gonna taste way better because it doesn't have all that pus and gross stuff that milk has. So here, another thing we like to do is we've got a fruit salad made out of papaya. This here is Monstera Deliciosa. It's ripe nowadays. It's a really amazing fruit, somewhere in between sour green apple bubblegum and pineapple and banana. These little black bits come from the Monstera. They don't taste like anything, they're natural. And put some of this yogurt all up in here, this fruit salad. Boom. And that right there is some epic snack time. You serve that to somebody, it might look a little crazy, but they're gonna flip out. It's gonna be amazing. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. If you have, please like, subscribe, share the video, and there will be more coming just like it. Thanks for watching. Beautiful plant, beautiful fruit. It's the bottom. It's happening. There's seriously fewer things in life that are satisfying as this feeling right now. Yes. Undress yourself, why don't you? Young coconuts, you're not going to want mature coconuts with the really thick meat, the kind you buy at the stores that are brown, they're already husked. You break them open, they have that really thick, fibrous, fatty meat. That's not what you want. That's not going to make a good coconut yogurt. You could probably do it. That's all you got. You might want to try it, and it might be worth it, but really that stuff's going to be really thick and grainy and let's bust them open. They'd be a perfect thickness and pliability for making coconut yogurt. But here I probably need close to 10 coconuts to make the same batch. First step is to cut all of the coconuts, take out all the water. You're probably going to want to save some of the water because when you're blending the coconut meat, you're going to want to add some water usually to the right consistency of flesh. Wanting to show you how to make something that I recently learned how to make and have been enjoying a lot, which is coconut yogurt. It's extremely easy and simple. Basically 2 ingredients, coconut and a probiotic and thyme. So hope you enjoy this very simple recipe. So first of all, you guys are going to want everybody, long time no see. I hope the traffic isn't too noisy. I am back in the flavors and it's not going to make a yogurty consistency. So you want the young coconut meat, and depending on the coconut meat, it's going to take a differing amount of coconuts to fill up one blender for one batch of coconut meat. These coconuts are picked either very young or it's just a variety that has meat that's very thin. I think they're just picked very young because in Hawaii I could go get 3 coconuts